We got to build our own Olympic teams. We're doing the same thing we did for the all-time teams. He's going to the old era. I'm going to the new era. And then maybe we'll see what our teams look like if we combine them at the end. I'll go first with my draft here, Tony. At quarterback, I jokingly, when I made the TikTok, put Tom Brady on here. I don't think Brady's going to be volunteering for this by 2028. I don't think it's going to be something that's on his radar to do. So I was a little bit more serious. I picked the NFL quarterback. I think Lamar Jackson will be the one. Yep. Early on in his career, there's a lot of knocks about his passing ability and how it wasn't quite on par with his ability as a scrambler. He's developed it. He's become a great passer. And then we are going to need someone in flag football at quarterback that can buy time. I think that's almost more important than being an accurate passer is buying time. So Lamar Jackson is absolutely perfect for this role. And then my wide receiver 1, Justin Jefferson. Self-explanatory. He also could play DB if we need him to. Wide receiver 2, Jamar Chase. I don't think he's playing in any DB. CeeDee Lamb, I don't think he's playing in any DB. And then my wide receiver 4, I'm throwing him in here. I had a choice here between Puka Nacua and Ladd McConkey. And while Puka Nacua may be the energy that we need on our flag football team, Ladd McConkey is more of the skill set we need on our football team. So I'm throwing Ladd in there. And I'm also projecting, I should have said this at the beginning, to 2028. So where are we going to be in 2028? Like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are going to be approaching 30. So Ladd will be in his prime by then. And then my 5th wide receiver, call me crazy, but I feel like we need a jump ball guy. I was going to go with Mike Evans. But again, we're talking about 2028 here. So I'm projecting ahead. Drake London is going to be my guy. By 2028, he's going to be the best jump ball getter in the NFL, and he's going to be our jump ball getter on our Olympic team. My other choices were like DK Metcalf or George Pickens for that role. I don't really want anyone that's going to try and chokeslam any French dudes on my team. And then to DB, we got to have Travis Hunter because he plays both ways, and he's basically like a flag football superstar. And then another guy that I think sneakily could play both ways is Derwin, who I don't know if you know, in one of those Pro Bowls before they started putting on flags, went to wide receiver, was catching touchdown passes at the Pro Bowl on Jair Alexander, I think, actually. Just saying. Maybe he's got a future at wide receiver. And then my other DBs were Pat Surtain, Derek Stingley, and then we need one token guy on each side of the ball. So Cooper DeJean's be playing slot.
I didn't get that note, so I don't know that just looking over my roster real quick. No white guys. Oh, wait, quarterback.
And then as our emergency quarterback, that Duquette guy, he could be our emergency. If all else fails, we lose Lamar Jackson, or Lamar Jackson, doesn't want to play for us anymore, the flag football king, we'll bring him on just to prove a point, that he does want to play with NFL players. He does want them around him. He does want to throw to them.
I think it would be interesting if he just was like, if his team, the USA flag football team, played a team of NFL players.
Yeah, for the rights of it. But his quote was that, like, we don't need anyone else. Don't send us any NFL players. Why don't you guys mix it up? Why don't we get some of the flag players mixed in with some of the younger NFL players? Let's have like a fun time,
No.
Where are you going to see a flag football QB throwing touchdown passes to Justin Jefferson? Nowhere.
What I'm saying is, let's have if the best of the best really want to play on this team, which I still have a hard time believing that any of them are going to play.
Yeah.
Any of these guys that we think are, because that 2028 time is going to be about Ladd McConkey, hitting year 2 of his deal. And the incentives that are going to be in there in that 2020.
The great news for you, Tony, is that our 16 under team would win the gold medal, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So the only person I would have thought differently that you might have had on there was, I thought you might have put in instead of Drake London. Did you say Brian Thomas Jr.?
I did not. I was thinking about him too.
Yeah, I was thinking him or Marv as far as like that.
Oh, Marv, that'll be good. Yeah, that'll be good. You saw Marv got in the weight room?
I heard about it. I haven't seen video photo.
I think that'll be good for him.
I have no doubts that Marvin Harrison is going to be a good player. I want to join everybody's overreactionary ability on the internet. I struggle to do so. You ready for the all 90s team?
Yeah, let's see what our combined rosters look like too at the end here.
And so you, as you said, you're projecting this out to 2028. I'm projecting this to 1998, because if we did 2028, a lot of these guys would be, well into their 60s.
I don't know. I think Dion could do it with like 6 toes even. That's how bad the French team's going to be. But
So
anyways,
I have starting at QB, I picked Steve Young over a lot of guys. Again, I went with the mobility factor of somebody who's going to be able to move around. I did consider a guy like Randall Cunningham in this, but
that's what I was about to say.
that 90s time was like there's so much of the great quarterbacks were more pocket guys. Like John Elway was kind of more of the pocket when he was in the 90s, and Dan Marino and Aikman and Jim Kelly. Just a really great time for quarterbacks. And obviously Favre could still move around. But Favre in the 90s, well, he was winning 3 MVPs in a flag situation. If you don't think that this guy's going to be throwing picks, like you would be out of your mind to think that he's not going to try to force in a bunch of footballs. So,
I mean, if you younger fans out there want to know about Steve Young, just imagine Josh Allen if Josh Allen ran with his head straight down instead. Same thing.
Quarterback, Steve Young. First wide receiver, it's got to be Randy Moss if we're going for the 90s. Second one, I threw in a bit of a wild card here. People can go look this one up. Eric Metcalf was a dynamic returner, super athlete, played wide receiver, was saddled with playing for the Cleveland Browns. So he is forgotten to sort of history, but was a really good player, dynamic player. Sterling Sharp for the Packers going into the Hall of Fame this summer. One of my favorite players of all time in the NFL. He was winning first-team All-Pros when Jerry Rice was in the league and at the height of his powers. Had he not suffered a neck injury, probably would have made the Hall of Fame a lot sooner and be in a lot more conversations. And then Jerry Rice, like I'm not leaving. Well, he may have not been the most explosive, dynamic. He is like Jerry Rice is on my 98 Olympics team. And then I have my original Travis Hunter hybrid here in the middle. Deion Sanders starts off wide receiver and defensive back in this situation. Then I go to DBs. Rod Woodson, Hall of Fame career at corner and at safety, most likely. Darrell Green, this guy was still running like 4.23 when he was like 50 years old. Like he got out of the league and was still like, hey guys, I can still run. I just don't necessarily like to hit people anymore. Played for the Washington Redskins for like 20 years. Aeneas Williams, great DB for the Hall of Famer too, for the Cardinals, Rams. And then Eric Allen, not sure if he's in the Hall of Fame or not, but one of those guys that tons of ball production, like 50 plus INTs. Played for the Eagles, Raiders, and one more team that's escaping my memory right now. That would be my squad for the 1998.
We would definitely need some ball hawks.
That's for damn sure. Well, you've got Deion Sanders, Rod Woodson.
And
Eric
then
Allen.
The thing about Jerry Rice, it's like, again, we're going up against Russia, right? They got their rugby players out there. They have to play like 20 yards off. Jerry Rice is he's gonna eat that up. He's gonna eat that coverage up.
Yeah, like I think that it's like if you gave them 6 months to train and figure it out, their athleticism, they're going to dominate no matter what. I think if you just said, hey, tomorrow you guys are going to go play this game against the flag football teams that have been practicing this format with these rules, I don't think they're going to win the game. And doesn't have anything to do with talent.
Well,
it's
probably why you're right in the end. That's probably why you're right in the end. Just like in basketball, like, I mean, I guess in basketball, we send our guys. We send our guys for the most part, but it's like the top stars of the league, but the rest of the roster built out is younger stars. I think you'll see some younger guys that want to make a name for themselves, maybe come out of the NFL, but we should send college athletes to win some gold medals before they get to the NFL. That would be fun.
So the reason I feel like it's different in basketball is because you're not removing the physical element from basketball. You might be changing goaltending rules or
how got that Paul George nightmare. That Paul George nightmare will live on forever.
But if you can still shoot, if you can still block shots, the Paul George thing is like a freak accident that never, like, that wouldn't happen. But, like, again, those things might be more likely
in football
than they are on the basketball court. And
let's combine squads. Let's combine squads.
Those injuries are just more common.
Oh, yeah. Lamar Jackson or Steve Young? I think Lamar.
I don't know, man.
For flag football?
Yeah, fine. You can like the internet. The internet is filled with young people, so they're all just going to argue for all of your guys, except for like Randy and Dion are the only ones.
Okay, I put Lad McConkey on my team. You could fill in that spot with Randy.
So they might say Jerry Rice. There, as soon as I didn't put on like
half and half
from the 90s, people are going to be like, this bozo took Eric Metcalf. And it's like, but if you talk to anybody who's my age or older, people will be like, dude,
yeah,
Eric Metcalf was a super athlete. Yeah, exactly. Arsenio Hall.
That's my guy right there. Our wide receivers are Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice. So we're looking good.
I'll go with that.
At DB, we'll replace Cooper DeJean with any of your corners, and we'll replace. Oh, this is tough. We're probably gonna have to replace Travis Hunter with Dion.
Which, by the way, that's the right
easy choice. Easy choice.
I mean, we haven't even seen Travis Hunter play in the NFL yet. Like, come on.
Yeah, and I think Derwin will be next on the chopping block too, just because he's a safety, not a corner. But we're gonna need a safety. One safety. We're gonna need a safety to play safety. But a corner can play safety in flag football.
Which is why I would probably vote for a guy like Rod Woodson, who is a quarterback transition
plays
safety.
Both.
And it's like these are we act like these guys who ran 4.29 and 4.34 at their pro days, just because it happened in the 80s, it's not as fast as it happens in 20. It's like, man, look at how fast this guy is. It's like players were still very fast in that time. Now, the way that they're taught and coached and whatever, it obviously progresses. There were players smoking on the field in the 60s and 70s. Like, they obviously started to learn about nutrition and health and different ways to improve as overall specimens. But, like, there are players, great players, could have played in any generation in my mind. Positions may have changed or usage may have changed, but the thing that makes you great in anything that you do is your commitment to being the best when you're there. And that shit translates through all eras. And they would find ways to get on the field. That's just how I feel.
That's a great bow on it right there, Tony. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. This full episode. If you just watched 2 hours of us talking, please like the video before you go. It takes like a second out of the 2 hours. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. We are on our goal for 25,000 subscribers. Thank you for 20, by the way.
Bill Flames, I'm with Mike on the mic. What's up, the brand new one time for your mind? He gave you fair warning. Now it's time to smack him in the mouth with that raw sports talk from the town. Sweet chin music to your favorite sportscaster.